Hello and welcome to yet another episode of 20,000 Leagues Under the Internet. I'm your captain this week. My name is John. We're going to be cruising at a depth of over 20,000 leagues.
It's in the title, motherfuckers.
And diving for all intents and purposes. We are just getting deeper under the pressure.
Yeah.
But I would welcome my cohorts in this.
You would.
Harlan Big Glug Spinks.
Hell yeah, brother. Oh, yeah.
If we can make that a recurring episode.
Yeah, you didn't.
Great.
Just
You didn't think I had another
LaCroix.
drink over here, did you?
I didn't, yeah.
I'm always
And Kyle, I was going to say something
ready.
about
Trash
the
can
pink tip,
Kyle.
but yeah.
Hello, my name is Kyle, and I have a pink mug, a pink background, and a pink windscreen on my microphone
Nice.
today. Don't know how this all happened, but it did.
Damn it. I keep forgetting. I have a wacky mug that I want to bring, and I keep forgetting it.
Does it have is it like the character of one of your favorite sitcoms or TV shows?
No, but it will make
It's
an
fine.
appearance.
You can save it for a
Oh,
surprise.
you know what?
Okay.
We've got a big episode coming up.
A little teaser for
Yeah, I
everybody.
I think we're all gonna do some
Tonight
wacky mugs. I think that's what's gonna
is
happen.
our 99th episode, so we are on the cusp of hitting the big 100.
Yeah, the penultimate
baby.
episode before 100.
Y2K.
Y2K.
Baby.
Hey, let's bring that back.
We're about to.
Hey, whatever.
We're about to.
Hey, everybody
Gen
kind
Z
of
is
forgot.
bringing that back, so
Yeah, Y2K. Everybody just kind of forgot that was like a thing we were all scared of, like immediately afterwards. You guys remember that? It was weird.
Yeah. I mean, we did a whole episode on
Oh,
it. Remember
fuck.
that? I was getting the sense that maybe.
I mean, 100 episodes is on the
it all kinds of blurs
horizon.
together.
It really does.
I'm not kidding. I was scrolling through the other day because I was looking for the name of an episode, and I was like, "Fuck!" There's a lot that we talked about that I've legitimately forgotten
I
about.
forget most of our
And
episodes.
I can only imagine
minutes after.
Sean's got the
enough.
memory of a goldfish.
my wife will ask what we talked about, and I'm like, I don't know.
It was
don't remember.
a fucking blur, man.
I love what I love is when people listen to an episode from last year,
Yeah.
and they go, "Oh, dude, that joke you made when you did that," I'm like, that sounds like I was pretty funny, but I really have no idea what you're talking about.
This is why we do this too. This is for the listener and the watcher now. We don't remember any of the shit we say. So it's all for you. You tell all of your other friends. Yeah. It's in your hands now.
Yep.
You do what
Yep.
you will with
You
this.
You are Highlander.
Speaking of
I tried to watch that
things-
movie the other day. It was terrible.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you?
It's on like
I never
HBO or
Nice.
something.
I'd never seen it before. I was like, I'll put this on. I've said that throughout my entire life and never understood the reference. It is a bad movie.
Yeah.
Heavily syndicated. Doesn't make
Yeah.
it better.
You know what's a great idea? Let's hire a Scotsman to play an ancient Spaniard.
Well, and then they hired him
Right.
later to play a mystical Asian man in Mortal Kombat. He
Yeah.
plays Raiden.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's
really?
the same actor. I can't remember what his name is.
Sean Connery?
Oh no, I thought you were
Sean
talking about
Connery is
the
Raiden.
other guy in Highlander.
No.
The guy that looks
Sean-
like Thomas Jane, kind of.
Sure.
Okay, can you imagine Sean Connery
Raiden?
as Raiden?
Oh
though?
man, that would make that movie so much better. Just make it.
I would be watching that a lot more. That would be in the rewatch.
Remember when they cast Sean Connery to be a Russian in a Russian submarine captain, and they didn't make him learn any dialogue in Russian? They just did everything in English.
Just had to do your thing, Connery.
His accent is so thick, it is just unavoidable.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a catch of the week. There was no transition, so let's talk about this lady. The internet
there.
recently has been trying to find a woman who has won a shitload of county fair awards. A woman named Linda Skeens went viral because there was like video or if photos of all of her wins at this baking and craft fair in Virginia, Kentucky district. She's won. I have a list of all the things that she won at this baked goods competition. Okay. She won first place in cakes, first place in pies, first, second, and third place in cookies.
What?
First place in brownies.
You just fucking sweep the cookies? Was there no one else?
No, that's the thing. There were a lot of other people, and
why did she bring more than one flavor?
Because it's Linda Skeens. She is legendary.
Yeah. This is it.
She won first, second, and third in savory breads, first place in bread, and first, second, and third place in candy.
Linda, just calm down. You're coming in and you are dunking on everyone so hard.
Yes. So there.
You know what's
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No.
What's fucked up about this to me is they're looking for her as if she didn't leave a mountain of evidence of where.
right.
Like, come on, people. You can find her.
We have a literal breadcrumb trail to find the Linda Skeens.
That was the joke.
Yes.
That was the joke.
So all this list of all of her wins went viral on Facebook. It garnered 13,000 likes, 23,000 shares on a single image, which is the one I just read. There has been a Facebook fan page that was created called Linda Skeens Baking Queen.
That only adds up. I mean, only makes sense to me. I think I want to join. I'm going to make a Facebook
just
account.
for Linda
Queen.
Skeens. Yeah.
I'm going to join that group.
Multiple t-shirts, memes, and even an original song on TikTok based on her story called The Ballad of Linda Skeens.
I mean, that's the least they could do.
Truly the least. This woman deserves all the praise in the world. There was at one point someone thought they found Linda Skeens, but it was a different Linda Skeens. And that Linda Skeens had to go on social media and be like, hey, it's not me. I don't know what the fuck you're all talking about. I don't bake. But eventually they found her. She appeared on the Today Show with, I think she brought one of her first place pins. She's wearing it in this photo.
Okay.
But let me see.
Don't want to flex too hard then.
No.
Yeah.
There's a quote from her. I don't know what to think about it. I've been cooking and doing this for 50 some years. And so I don't understand why there's such a big deal. But anyway, I appreciate it. She seems quite humble about the whole situation.
Oh my God. Just
also like annoyed.
Yeah, just like, why is everyone looking for me? I want to bake. Please.
I
have cookies.
I'm looking at one photo of her. The caption, it's her standing in front of a giant I Love New York sign. I assume this was on her trip to the Today Show, maybe. Sure. And she looks like she could give two fucks. It's incredible.
She's like, I do not, in fact, love New York. I love baking and baking activities.
I love sweet bread, savory bread, and just, normal breads.
Or she comes in
and getting that bread.
She's just like, if there's not a competition, I don't want to fucking be here.
Right, yeah, I'm in this to win.
Unless I'm testing my metal.
She doesn't want to do one of those like weird come on, I want to be like, well, tell me about your experience, and then do you think you could bake for us today? Well, yeah, we have this pre-risen dough in the oven already going. Like, she doesn't want to pander. She wants to do the fucking process and do it like a pro, because you know what? That's what pros do. Yeah. They respect the process.
There's another quote. I cook country and I cook to eat.
God damn. Now that is a fucking quote. Put that on a
t-shirt. Put that on a butter substitute.
Put that on a weird novelty mug that we'll have on this show in our merch store probably soon.
Yeah, or never. Who knows? So as this all was happening, and she was like being interviewed and stuff, she did open up about her life, and she told a radio host that she was diagnosed with leukemia in December, said that the flight to New York City was the first one she's ever been on, saying it was fun, but made her a little nervous. So she's beaten cancer, and I think that is all the more reason why this woman deserves all of these blue ribbons.
Honestly, protect Linda at all costs.
Protect her at all costs.
And please, bake more. I would travel for this.
For sure, totally. I have a photo.
First, second, and third place? My God.
She sweeped everything.
Just dunking on people.
Yeah.
Let me.
Could you imagine if you're fourth place and you lost to one person?
I didn't think about that, but yeah.
That's pretty. You're right. That is pretty fucked up. It was that good that it was just like your shit was not.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That is
So
a
those are all
of awards.
Harlan just sent the
The
photo.
photo of all of her ribbons, and
Arranged by color.
arranged by, I think maybe importance and then color. But yeah, so that's Linda Skeens. She's captured the internet's heart and soul.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so an incredible story of one woman's baking prowess.
Incredible.
An absorbent gas bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this actually somehow transitions well into my topic tonight.
How in the fuck is that possible?
This is going to be a story about one person who did something so well that it created some sort of a frenzy on YouTube.
It sounds like a sex thing.
It's not. I guarantee you it's not. It's the furthest
Okay.
thing from that.
Come on, it's John
Like
we're
this?
talking about. He would never.
This guy did a sex thing so good that it started a frenzy.
A feeding frenzy.
That led to the deaths of 100,000 people.
So tonight we are going to talk about primitive technology on YouTube.
Yes! Fuck yeah!
So Harland, you clearly have
I love.
some base level of this.
Yeah, I've watched many videos of the primitive
Okay.
technology fella. It's
Fantastic.
incredible, and I recently saw a little bit of a controversy.
That's
Which
what
we-
we were talking about.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it relatively recently, actually.
Yeah. That was also how I was made aware of this. I mean, I have watched these videos, so if you're not familiar with what we're talking about, there is a series of things that you've either seen on YouTube, Reddit, or any of these other kind of channels that are more often than not one or two people doing some sort of like crazy time sped up building process in a jungle. And
Right.
it's usually some like swimming pool type thing or like some crazy building. But it's just incredibly relaxing and kind of fun to watch something that sped up to see like a structure rise or
like a hut, or
yeah.
they made a chimney out of clay. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I can definitely speak for people in this group. The kind of fascination with survivalists or like bushcraft kind of people has like skyrocketed in the past few years. I think like Kyle, you turned me on to watching Alone in the beginning of the pandemic, and it was kind of like one of those things of like, I'm not really sure what this is going to be about, and then it's like, well, it might be a little gnarly for a bit, but you'll get over it. Like,
No, that's the thing. I always preface it like, oh, I've been watching this show and I can't fucking stop it. You know, like Survivor Man? Yeah, okay, cool. It's like that, except people are competing for like $500,000 for it. It's not just for the lulz like him.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, man. It's got a lot of heavy squirrel violence.
He's just a little fella. Poor thing. I'll get a good stick to hit him with. I'm so sorry, sweetie.
And
So,
for
if you
me,
could stop-
for me, that's a bonus, baby. I love some squirrel violence.
I love some squirrel violence.
Did you know we used to use their tails as currency? Anyway,
I've come to realize that's the where people draw the line though. Like a lot of people go, oh, what do you mean? I'm gonna go, well, you see a bow and arrow, like someone just knock one of those things right through the head of a poor little squirrel. They go, I can't watch that. I go, great, I'm glad I said
they're
it.
a
I didn't wanna
blight
be
on the
person-
Americas.
I mean, flashback to me and my my COVID craft, which was needlepoint. Sitting on the couch with my wife, we're both doing. She's knitting. I'm doing needlepoint, watching someone disembowel a squirrel. You're like, wow,
Right,
this guy's
totally.
got
This
what
is
it
nice.
takes.
This is really nice night in.
I'm noticing. I looked up the Google Trends for primitive technology, by the way, and the search interest for primitive technology really shoots up around 2015, 2016, and it never really reaches that height again. And I'm curious how that correlates with like survivalist stuff during the age right before and during Trump.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Everybody was like, oh, this is it, baby. I got to learn how to like skin a cat.
Which there's probably more than one way, I've heard.
I've heard there are several.
So what we'll start with is talking about John Plant, who started the Primitive Technology YouTube channel in May of 2015.
It's the OG one, the
yes.
original. Yeah.
He is the original one that started kind of like this style of video trend that is very, very popular on YouTube. And to date, he's got like well over 10 million subscribers and 1 billion views as of a little earlier this year.
Hell yeah.
And so a lot of that is due to just like him being kind of awesome and doing these, anywhere from like, a couple minutes to 20-minute videos of him doing some sort of bushcraft or like some sort of like building process that it only uses tools that he either makes or has made in previous videos.
Right.
Yeah,
because
awesome.
he saves all that stuff and like continues to use it.
Yeah, exactly. And he is in Queensland, Australia. And he is like, I think his first video, he made an axe. Like he showed you how to sharpen an axe. He showed you how to do that and like started cutting down bamboo. And he was kind of working in the jungles there. And
As you do.
yeah,
I mean, it's fun. Also, it's Australia. Oh, what else are you really going to do out there?
yeah. I mean, other than battle very large animals,
Yeah.
probably build things to stay away from them.
The reason he made the axe was to fight off all the deadly emus that live down there.
Yeah, and the scorpions that are the size of footballs.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of his first videos received 44,000 Reddit upvotes and 31 million views on YouTube.
God damn.
What do you know what year what that was?
That was in 2015.
Okay, so 44,000 back then was much different than 44,000 now.
Yeah.
I just want to say, Reddit has changed the way, their viewer base has gone up drastically since 2015. But the way, I remember they made a shift to the way they were going to report upvotes. And I remember one day, it was like when Steve Jobs died. What year was that?
Oh boy, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't Steve Jobs. But anyways, there was like, I remember seeing 70,000 likes or upvotes on Reddit. And I was like, yeah, exactly. So that was like, I was like, wow, 70,000. And then this getting 44. Dude, there's 6 things today with 44,000 on Reddit today.
Yeah.
They changed something at some point. So all I'm trying to say is, long-windedly, that's fucking impressive as hell for 2015.
Yeah, and I mean, just the amount of views that have been like clocked on some of his videos. I mean, that first one is at 31 million, but there are others that are higher. Like I'm looking at one right now that is 86 million. Just like so many people watching these like really cool and very interesting videos of somebody making things out of nothing.
Yeah. Well, there's something about, I mean, I think this is like a more general thing as to why these got popular, is watching someone make something out of nothing. Like is like what you said, it's very, very satisfying, but
it's relaxing too.
It's also relaxing. And also, if you're tired of like trying to find a quality comedy thing or a quality drama thing, like fuck it, just no words at all. Just watch a guy make a mud hut while you're like eating your lunch for 15 minutes. Like that's great.
And not occasionally just go,
Yeah, exactly.
Way to go.
He's really good with those toes. He uses his feet a lot to hold stuff down. It's impressive.
Yeah, and the thing is that he is all by himself, and so he's doing all of these things. And he went on to say in some interview that the like videos don't have any narration. It's just him with rainforest sounds and like, you know, that sort of thing. And then eventually he'll do like a little like caption of like what he's in the process of doing.
Right. Yeah.
And he was like, that was honestly out of laziness. Like I didn't do it. And then like it kind of became popular. People liked it because like nobody's chatting at you.
Yeah.
It's like what's
ASMR
going on.
kind of
Yeah,
vibe.
it's jungle ASMR for watching somebody build a hut.
For high output people.
Yeah. And so looking into this, and you'll find out why, I kind of like looked at how YouTube pays for videos, because that's a lot of views. And so I mean, hi YouTube, hopefully someday you pay us, but probably not soon.
Yeah, we need to be hitting 1,000 views before that even.
Google pays out 68% of their AdSense revenue for every $100 that its advertiser pays. Google pays $68 to the publisher. And so the actual rates on advertiser will obviously vary, but between 10 cents to 30 cents per view, but averages it's like 18. So on average, a YouTube channel can receive $18 per 1,000 ad views, which equates to about $3 to $5 per 1,000 video views.
Yeah.
So
it also depends on the type of content that you're making, because other YouTubers that I watch have opened up, especially during the ad apocalypse or whatever the fuck that happened a couple years ago on YouTube. They were all sharing their stats and showing what their income was. And certain tech people, like people that do tech reviews or talk about technology and stuff, they get paid way fucking more, like 3 to 4 times more than any other type of content. So they also prioritize what your content is and what you're creating, which is also bizarre and a little unfair, maybe.
So with this kind of money getting thrown around for millions of views, it's like pretty obvious that copycats would kind of like start to form and take this
Elsa Gate all over again, man.
to take this kind of formula and extrapolate it and make it something bigger. And so there is a lot of fucking people that started making channels that did this exact same thing, but slightly differently. So there are a number of channels that came up that were like all using the same keywords. I mean, Primitive Technologies is like hitting the nail on the head as far as it is concerned with kind of this style of thing. But there's primitive building, jungle survival, primitive survival tool, Cyprian outdoor adventures. Like a lot of these things are the same kind of channel, doing the same kind of thing. All of whom are located in like roughly the same areas.
Yeah.
So they're doing these things in Cambodia, in Thailand, and in Vietnam for the most part.
Interesting.
But they geotag in the US.
Interesting.
So they have their location set to the US and say that they're living in the United States, probably to get paid in $1.
Well, and also there are just more people in the US watching YouTube videos of like strangers shirtless in the forest building houses.
Exactly.
There's a bit of a fantasy element, I think, that probably plays into why, you know, people in more industrialized countries watch this stuff. It's because it's so very foreign to I just walk down the street and or walk into my house. I don't have to worry about building any of this shit out of mud. So that's why it's fascinating. It's foreign, right? It's different.
Of course.
Can you imagine? I just saw a comic today where it was like a guy encounters a sign that says he's on a bridge or about to be on a bridge, and the sign says drawbridge ahead. So he stops, pulls out a notepad and starts drawing the bridge and goes, "This is such a ridiculous requirement." And he's like, while he's holding up traffic while he draws a bridge ahead. But it's like, can you imagine like if you wanted to open your door, it's like, I gotta build a fucking doorknob to go outside. Or
get water, you had to build a water wheel.
Yeah.
Like,
totally.
fuck.
You want to sanitize, you want clean water, you got to boil that shit and then let it cool down.
Yeah. So I just sent you guys a little screen grab of Primitive Technology with just a few of his videos that are up. And you can kind of see, like, just visually, they're all very the same. Like, it's a lot of the same subject matter and very, like, there's like a drill that he's made, a stone axe, just kind of like some basic fire making things, which is all things that like are well and good in the Australian bush.
Yeah.
And then
some of the screenshots though is kind of like, what am I looking at?
Sure, yeah.
The fire sticks one, it's like his foot and then a blurry foot, like his hands all blurry.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's happening?
The making poisonous black bean safe video also looks sus. Like, what are you doing to that thing, man? What are you doing to that black bean?
And I just sent you 2 screenshots of some of the copycats, and you can see some pretty fucking stark differences.
Yeah, like the
between these
AstroTurf coloring of, like, this looks unreal.
Yes, so there are some pretty like crazy differences between some of these videos. A lot is like extremely bright blue water, like Harlan said, like crazy grass colors. A lot of this stuff is painted.
A lot of pools too. I've
lot
noticed.
of pools. That's like one of the biggest things that sticks out among these other videos. So
this water slide to the secret hole in the ground.
There's a lot of that. There is a lot of that. So I came across a video that went over a lot of this stuff in great depth, which was the YouTube channel Sunny V2, and they did a lot of research that like reached out into the community of these people to kind of like fact find.
Right.
And so it had been kind of brought to their attention that there was like a lot of copycats, people like making comments on these videos to say like, well, it looks like a lot more people are involved in these builds as opposed to what, like, all of these videos start out with 2 dudes like shirtless drawing a circle on the ground. And like then they just start digging with 2 sticks. And then it's a lot of like really, really quick cuts. And so you'll see like one frame to the next frame, like they're just like at the top of the, on ground level, and then it'll all of a sudden be like 6 or 7 feet down.
Yeah,
and, like,
in like a almost fully built pool.
Yeah, all of this stuff like perfectly laid out.
I've never watched any of those ones. I've only seen, like I said, I think I saw like one video of someone talking about this and criticizing some of the like farms that that make these videos, and it feels like they're quite disorienting as well in terms of just the cutting and the editing. Like you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's wild. Like the primitive technology guy, he literally just sits down like a grizzly man, sets up a camera, walks away and does his thing. And then like you see him get up.
Yeah.
But yeah, with those ones, they seem like super disorienting and hard to watch, if I'm being totally honest.
There is kind of a reason for that. So Sunny V2 put out a like community post asking people if like anybody knew anyone associated with these builds, if they could like help and comment. And a fucking cameraman from one of these channels reached out to them to answer all of their questions. So the biggest offender as far as like forgetting to put away tools or like cover up some of their shortcuts,
clear the set.
Primitive Technology Idea. That is their YouTube channel. They have 6 million subscribers and lots and lots and lots of views.
That is so sad because for the original Primitive Technology has 10 million. It's only 4 million less or more than this ripoff channel.
Yeah, because I mean, some people will find the copycat and never know the original.
Yeah,
totally. Yeah.
So this person was able to answer a lot of the questions, and even Primitive Technology actually ended up putting out a statement about like all of these copycats and that sort of thing. But the cameraman went on to talk about how there's never any less than a dozen people working on these videos.
Okay, so a construction crew.
It is a construction crew. There's a director in charge of like the acting and how things are going to go. There's an architect to ensure safety.
Wow,
oh, interesting.
Wait, what?
Yes.
What?
Because they have
never.
to. They are like doing civil engineering.
I
and
guess.
just,
Yeah.
like,
you're right.
kind of like mocking it up. I mean, a lot of these things include fucking slides, man.
Well,
like
I am
almost
looking
every
at-
single one of these videos has a water slide in it,
I
or
am
like a
looking
secret
at another
underground
one,
thing.
and it's from Primitive Technology Idea, and it's a video that's got 28 million views, and there's straight up an alligator in one of the pools.
Oh yeah, I actually watched a video of them like sourcing the alligator.
Oh God, what is
which
that
is like
mean?
them quartering it in the river, and like kind of like poking a stick
Sourcing
at
the
it until
gator.
like two of them can actually like grab it. Which again, when they pull it out of the water, its hands are already tied behind its little back.
Oh.
So like
It was
it's
set
again,
up.
all of the cuts are like in order to.
This sounds like I'm J Station.
all of
Can you
these
imagine if
things.
I'm J Station had a fucking
Primitive Technology Channel.
Guys, we're out here in the jungle. How did we get here? Ramon, what are we doing? He's like, I don't fucking know, dude.
Today I'm gonna try and build from all of this mud and shit
Yeah.
a slot machine. Come on, guys.
And then it's like this thumbnail is him in like the jungle at night, scared or something. Like, oh God.
My wife got eaten by a gator.
Yeah. One of the biggest things was like, who the fuck does this digging? So
Yeah.
obviously there are more people. In one of the primitive technology idea videos, you can see in the background someone else digging. Like there's the two shirtless guys like in the foreground, and
The
then in the back
stars.
you can see a guy in like a white shirt, like just like digging in the background.
Isn't there one where you can see a backhoe too?
Yes. I mean, one of the biggest call-outs that people see in these videos is that like it's, you know, two people digging with sticks, and then there are very different marks on the walls of these holes that seem much, much bigger, that would be created by a shovel or a backhoe. And then when it zooms out, people can see like, oh, there are treads. You
Yeah.
can see the tread where the excavator was.
Guys, the
Like,
mud flood community, if they ever got wind of this,
oh my gosh.
they're all about layers, baby.
Yeah.
Don't know what the mud flood
It's
people
not.
find out.
This conspiracy isn't old enough, Kyle. It needs to have like a little bit of mystique
To
behind
me, it's not even
it.
a conspiracy; it's a scandal. Like the
Oh, yeah, yeah, it's
the Bear Grylls.
This is happening.
Yeah, this is happening. Like the Bear Grylls thing from years ago, where it was like, he's out.
The lava flow thing.
I don't know what it was exactly, other than he was out in the fucking woods and like. There's photos from on set where like just outside of where they were filming was like a highway, and he was like staying at a hotel or some shit.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a lava flow where there was a big like crevasse, but like the crevasse, Jesus, like
Crevice? Crevasse.
crevice. Thank you. I don't know why I'm saying it all.
Just say it however you like.
The big ass hole in the ground ends like 10 feet later, but in the show it's him like, you got to be really careful when you're crossing these things. He's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
jumping
yeah.
over it.
Yeah.
You've got to be really, really careful crossing these, just because you don't know what's solid and what's hollow underneath.
It's like he could have just walked around.
Yeah,
you,
that kind of
you
shit.
fraud. And he has a new show now, I
Yes,
guess.
he takes celebrities
Good
out
for him.
into the wilderness and interviews them for days on end while they're just trying to survive in the woods.
So one of the things that you can obviously see on all of these screenshots is they all make pools.
Yeah.
And the water is suspiciously blue. There's a lot of calls of, do they dye the water? Which is definitely something that was brought up. All of the like bottoms of these sort of structures are painted
Right.
blue, which also does not fucking exist in nature. I watched a video of two guys like collecting water, which I'll get to that. But they were collecting water from far away and walking past some leaves, and they like looked at each other and like, and like pulled the leaves off, and then like quote unquote boiled the leaves, and all of a sudden it turned this like iridescent, like what I have on the wall here, lime green, and that's what they used to paint their structure. As if that's how fucking pigments exist.
I know a lot of pigments come from like bugs. Like you can get pigments,
yeah.
but you
Lots of
need
bugs.
like hundreds of thousands of them
Yes.
crushed up to make that amount of
It's like,
pigment.
is it worth it
Yeah.
when you're trying to survive? to fucking make it look good.
Yeah, this is on a primitive technology thing that's supposed to also, I guess, have like survival type tips. And they're just like, you know what we're gonna do today? We're gonna cause a bug genocide so we can get some nice blue
We're
water.
gonna fuck with this ecosystem so we have a pretty looking pool.
One of the things that is like a common thread for all of these is the use of like quote unquote earth concrete.
Yes.
And each one has like a different way of making it.
Different recipe?
Yeah, different
It's
recipe.
proprietary.
Because first of all, earth concrete does not fucking exist. That is not a thing.
You can make clay.
You can make clay, and that does work, but it is different, and it is not concrete.
Yes.
And it has to be treated in a certain way. It has to be heat cured. All of this.
Yeah.
It has to be a specific consistency. But I digress. A lot of these people are just like quote unquote harvesting concrete from riverbeds, and or mixing water and dirt to create this
John,
concrete.
you know, like in Alone,
exactly.
when people go like, I found this can. And like contestants are.
It's just like that. You find a full
It's just
bag
like
of
that.
dry concrete.
I found a whole like backhoe of concrete.
Found the concrete bush.
I found a forklift fully loaded with these slabs of concrete. May as well use them.
Yeah.
Right over here, you might see a wild concrete mixer.
Don't make any noise. We don't want to spook them.
Don't spook her.
Keep them on the sides and grab that concrete.
One of the channels did kind of get creative, and they found a termite nest and broke that up and like added water to
Like
that.
to kill the.
So they.
Wait,
hang on. Are you telling me that if you crush up enough termites, you can get natural concrete?
It was a vacant termite house. No termites were harmed. I mean, maybe they were. I don't know.
Off camera, millions dead.
Yeah. I mean, how did they get the empty one? They just
Right,
raid.
exactly.
Carved it in raid.
Conspiracy. Now we're under conspiracy, guys.
Yeah. But some of them got so lazy that they didn't even try and hide some of their like corner cutting. There's videos that have the wires that are holding bamboo things together, which another thing is a lot of these videos have very cleanly cut bamboo everywhere.
Yes.
Also very difficult to do with a homemade axe, which primitive technologies will show you.
Yeah.
So a wire holding these things together. One video had like pre-made bricks that he was using to line his slide, which again, what the fuck? And then the biggest thing with all of this is where this water is coming from. A lot of these videos will show someone just carrying a bucket or like a clay jug and dumping it. You assume max 2 gallons at a time into a fucking swimming pool.
Oh yeah, it's gonna take days.
Days.
How many gallons does like an above ground swimming pool
Did you just Google
hold?
that?
Yeah, and that's a small one. And like the ones they try and like kind of circumvent that like very manual aspect of it, they run like an irrigation line, which they set up more bamboo and say that it's like coming from like a nearby area, which this cameraman was talking about. There's never any water nearby. It is either trucked in or there's some sort of like spigot or it's very,
what's crazy
very
to me
far
is
away.
the cost analysis has to go into truck rental. Like they have to be like, okay, we know we're gonna make this much money on this video, so we can't afford an extra tanker to bring in the water to make this pool fucking sick in the jungle, dude.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that the water in the truck is probably the most expensive thing about these videos. Like everything else is like, you know, chicken wire. You hire a couple of
Yeah, I was
day
gonna say you're paying for
laborers.
labor though too.
You pay them $100. Like what really? How much? I would love to see how much one of these videos does cost for them to make versus what they're making on YouTube.
Right, yeah.
By the way, a 15-foot round above ground pool is 5,310 gallons.
Divide that by 2.
Unbelievable. That would take
Divide that by
2
2?
men.
And then 10 minutes to walk back and forth from the stream.
We can do this, but not. We're not gonna do it right now. Harlan, you can put the math up on the screen. You got it.
Oh, gee, yeah, it's
Do the
gonna
breakdowns.
fucking beautiful mind over here.
So through all of this, looking at like that one particular channel's views, you will see like their highest count of views for the first, like the top 3 videos is 98 million views, 68 million views, and 63 million views. So around like a very low conservative estimate of what just those 3 videos would bring in is well over $500,000.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's one, like just 3 of hundreds of videos that are on this channel, and one of, you know, probably tens, dozens of copycat channels that also have these crazy numbers.
Right.
So people are making shitloads of money doing this, and like also destroying fucking forest. That is the other side of this. There was a YouTuber that did a video, the channel's called Photo Expression, and in a video they claim to have purchased a forest plot where some of these videos were made,
right?
And shows like some of the aftermath,
like the remnants of their shitty concrete like chimney and stuff.
Yeah, I just sent you guys some photos of before and after
This
of what
is
it looks like.
Making me sad.
Very like completely abandoned, because I mean they're one and done. As soon as they're done, they take off. They don't ever see them again. Why would they use it again? They've made their money. They've done their video. Who cares?
This looks like the shittiest. You know how when the Olympics come to your city and they build all of those like Olympic stadiums and shit? This looks like the world's worst Olympic like stadium area.
It looks like Chernobyl.
It looks like, yeah, really depressing Chernobyl. For the listener, then in one of these photos, they built some kind of giraffe sort of slide, and it looks okay in the finished product, but man, it looks horrifying a couple of months or years later. It's just like all sun bleached and
it's
sad.
like those knockoff amusement parks where they like use the likeness of certain beloved characters from various franchises that have no theme whatsoever. It's like, oh look, I think that's Pikachu hanging out with Mickey Mouse. You want to go in that weird tunnel they're standing, they're flanking? Like,
or like, welcome to prehistoric land.
Yeah.
And all the dinosaurs don't just barely articulate.
Looking too, and like shoddily made and faded. The key thing though is sun bleached and not like repainted or like that's the kicker.
Yeah.
You know you're fucked when you walk into an amusement park and it hasn't been repainted recently. You're fucked.
Yeah.
Don't go on the roller
Rust
coaster.
showing.
Who knows if it's up to code?
So this video showcased all of these abandoned structures, all of this, and it kind of like begged the question, like, A, was this private land to begin with, or did they do this just kind of like willy-nilly wherever?
Right.
Because that's, you know, horrible destruction of this.
Are there even laws in that country that prohibit them from doing shit like this either?
Yeah, and the video that this person put up on YouTube also has like drone footage that shows several sites on this like plot of land that were all used for this purpose, and then goes through and shows like where the water came from. There's like PVC pipe that's set up on a spigot, and there's concrete bags everywhere. Like none of these people cleaned up after themselves after this video was made. They just like did it, took off.
There is a part of me though that
So
like
weird.
I know in some of these other countries, which I'm sure we talked about during the Elsa Gate episode, where there aren't a lot of other opportunities in some cases. Like this is a quick and easy, well, maybe not quick or easy.
Quick nor easy. It takes like apparently anywhere from 3 to like 5 days to make this. Make a video.
But like in terms of the local economy of whatever country these are happening in, I'm sure that they're in constant sort of upheaval because of the US in most cases, and imperialism. So it's like, well, okay, this internet thing exists. What's trending? And this happens constantly. It's not like this is just happening to this primitive technology category.
Yeah, totally.
Right? So I get it. I can see it and empathize with the people that are involved in some of this stuff. And it's just like, well, I got this job on this fucking weird YouTube set where I'm building a pool out of like mud and shit. This is what I'm gonna do this week. And not having a lot of other job opportunities, and just like, but at the same time, it's like they're destroying ecosystems.
That's like the worst part of it. But I can see all of that. And the thing is that like people love these videos. Like I scrolled through a bunch of comments to see like if anybody like there are, you know, people calling shit out. Right. But there's a lot of people that are like, I love these videos. This is so great. Thank you so much. And are none the wiser of how completely like nonsensical they are, or like, you know, it's not
the repercussions or consequences of what the video is portraying.
It's odd too, because it's definitely like a direct effect of like tech and marketing. It's like, it's so weird. It's like people from nowhere that live nowhere near that area are making it possible for people to profit off that behavior, essentially.
Right. Well,
you know
and I mean? it reminds me of sort of when the internet was relatively young and like Napster came out, and like all these record companies didn't see like the fucking horizon of like this wave that was about to just crush them with like pirating. Because people, typically the user is the one that can figure out all the tweaks. That's why video games go through like beta testing, where they let some people figure out, okay, where are the exploits? And like, it reminds me of that, where it's like, oh yeah, YouTube, it's just we upload your own videos and shit. And it's like 5 or 6 years later, you've got weird.
Oh my God, deforestation.
We're directly resulting in deforestation.
Oh my
and
God, Nico
potentially,
Avocado, please stop eating.
and potentially the mass genocide of millions of termites. So
yeah, okay. And we're back to Termite Gate. Welcome back.
I know all three of us are doing everything in our power to never talk about Nico Avocado.
I don't want to.
I really don't want to. If we do just this amount in every episode, we will have covered it over several, like dozen episodes.
There's two people that we will never talk about on the show. One, Nico Avocado.
Yes.
Two, Jesus
the other
Christ.
one?
Chris Chan.
Yes. Yeah, I'm good. Don't want to touch those.
That
is nuclear, dude.
Very sad.
So that's it. We can keep a list, but those have been blacklisted so far. So that's it. Everything else is fair game.
Stop emailing us about that.
Stop, please.
Don't talk to me or my son ever again about.
Don't talk to me or my Sonny Chew ever again
about Chris Chan or Nico Avocado.
The positive side of this is that Primitive Technologies did take like a brief hiatus throughout the pandemic, and
waiting for this.
Recently started posting videos again, just as recently as I think it was in May that he started doing it again, and so there's been a big like resurgence in like viewers for him, and like I think like, you know, for me, I still love watching Alone. I think it's so cool that people can make all of these things in shelters and survive in the wild and all this stuff. I would never fucking do it, but I like knowing that other people can.
Yeah, and if you really wanted to take the time and put your mind to it, John, I'm sure you could. But god damn, it's so much fucking work.
Yeah.
And dangerous.
I like sitting at home eating my mac and cheese, watching someone like in below freezing temperatures, wondering about where they're gonna get berries.
I'm like fingering my my belly button, being like, that was a fucking poor move, my man. Like as if I fucking know what's going on.
Yeah, sitting there just being like, oh, that's gonna cost you.
And then I go, oh, thanks, babe, as a bowl of ice cream gets delivered to me while I'm wearing my jammies, watching this guy freeze to death.
While you're getting a double kill bot lane, ninja. The real ones know what that's about.
I'm
the other cool
ninja.
The other cool thing about the Primitive Technology guy is you can find metal and make metal just out in the world. I've seen those videos.
He made a knife. He made a what is it called? A forge or a smelter? And like
he smelted his own metal.
He made a little iron ore knife, which is crazy.
It's awesome, just by chipping away at like the side of a fucking mud hill.
You know, this makes me think that Magneto really missed his calling.
She could have gotten into the YouTube game.
Yeah.
I mean, he had pretty much an infinite supply. He wouldn't have to pay for shit. He could just pull it out of the earth. Like.
I
He
mean,
could have
that
been
is
an excellent blacksmith, but
that is what the core of the Earth is made of, too.
I digress.
Yes.
Dude, do you think Magneto is ever just like sitting at home, like, God, I wish I could get to that nougat center of the Earth?
Big juicy core. Oh yeah.
The things I could do.
It's like sexualized.
It's just he's obsessed. He can't help himself.
That's a big old hunk of metal, baby. Space metal.
John, do you have anything else for this episode, or is that?
No,
or-
I like the uptick for me, and the positive note was that our boy is making content again, despite all of these people.
Okay, that's great news. I will say a lot of our episodes end on a negative note, or just like a very bleak, like we don't know what to say. We go, well, see you later.
See
so John,
episode 98.
Yeah.
I appreciate it very much, John, that you did save the best for last, and that the OG is back. The king has returned.
Yeah,
King is back.
He's out there just fucking making huts and shit, and it's great because you do get to see like all of the stuff that he's built. He's like kind of working around it, and like you're like, oh, you're building a whole little like setup for yourself.
You might say, John, you might say he's back on the Hutzel.
The Hutzel. Wow.
Sure.
I'm okay with it.
John, you might say
like
that.
it.
I don't know if I would,
But you might.
I could.
I want to, if we're about to wrap up, I did the math.
Please, yes, finally.
And by carrying 2 gallons of water from the stream, roughly 10 minutes to do it,
Brown trip.
back and forth to fill roughly 5,000 gallon pool, it would take you 4,416 hours to fill it up.
And how many days is that? Man, thank God for hoses.
Divided by 24 equals 184 days.
But that's working full time. So cut that in cut that in half.
Yeah, exactly.
Do siestas.
So
You can't be cranking like that.
4,000 hours to fill a 5,000 gallon
Ask
pool.
yourself, is it worth it? To fucking,
That's why they got that fucking truck.
Yeah.
They're like, fuck this shit. Get the fucking truck.
Get the truck.
builds a
Back
pool
it
in the
up.
jungle. There's natural water sources everywhere.
This is crazy. What are we doing? This is absolutely insane.
You know that stream that you're pulling all that water from? Just get in it.
Go in there.
By the way, we're siphoning it from a farmer.
You're even putting a crocodile in the pool. Like, just.
This isn't salt water. I think that crocodile might die.
Oh, God. Okay,
Anyways.
now we ended on a negative note.
we killed an imaginary crocodile in our minds.
Tradition.
Yeah, wow. Well done, Harlan. Well, that's our episode. We'll see you in the big 100. Thank you for everybody who
special.
has made it this far. Follow us on all the socials. I'm sure you already are.
Yeah, you
Oh,
better
you
be.
know you
Or-
are, baby.
You better be, or I'm gonna commit an insect genocide. If you
Yeah.
don't subscribe, like, and share, I will kill a massive amount of bugs.
Harlan is going to make a die out of a bug.
I'm gonna die.
You see how his
Yeah.
room looks red? That's because of lighting.
It's
But
covered in blood. The blood of millions of insects.
I will say this: if you're making it past the 50-minute mark consistently on our episodes, I already know you're subscribed. There's no way.
I love you.
There's no fucking
Legitimately.
way. There's no way. This like if you're listening, oh shit, their new episode's coming out on Friday, and you listen to every fucking millisecond of that shit. You sometimes find the hidden jokes that leave after the music fades out that I don't even tell these guys about. If you're finding those,
Because we don't listen either.
We don't listen.
then you're one of the real ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck out there.
All right. See you at 100, everybody.
And everyone wanted to know which president was the true throat goat. And
Okay, I do remember this.
And they are all some sort of eldritch monsters of yore, right? She was also selling videos of her farting in the jar.
I hate this so much. I hate everything about this.
yeah.